This is Mike just checking in for another bodybuilding vlog, and just checking in. I'm doing some cooking, but I'm going to try and do this vlog real quick and easy. But this is how I really cook, man. Like, I'm probably going to do a couple videos on how I meal prep for the week. People always ask me, like, how do you do it? You always seem to have all your food cooked, but I bulk cook. But this is just a little insight on my proteins for the week. But I got some ground chicken, got some regular chicken, got some fish, orange roughy style, more chicken, and some good old hamburger. But, you know, I just wanted to do a video log for the week, just the current update on where I'm at with my training, my weight into the off season. But looking at the current weight, I'm 5 weeks into my off season. Well, technically I'm leading into my 6th week, and my current weight is about 164 pounds. I'm about 8 to 10 pounds above my stage weight. Trying to take it nice and slow, not try to gain a lot of fluff in the process in my off season. But current training is a 6-day training split. First 3 days of the week, I typically do more moderate type weight, more lower repetitions, not extremely low like 2 to 5, but I've been able to do about 8 to 12 reps per set. I'm not trying to get a lot of strength or power right now. I'm just trying to really take it nice and easy into the off season. Been able to notice some really nice effects of doing it this way. And then the last 3 days a week, Thursday through Saturday, I do more hypertrophy. I really just, really try to tear down the muscle, hit failure with every set, where I can't really do too much more, or I try to maximize by doing a lot of drop sets, a lot of bisets, trisets, supersets. The list continues on, but basically the idea is to hit hypertrophy and just try to stimulate all the muscle fibers as you're performing the exercise. So I do, the first 3 days a week I hit all my muscle groups. Typically do a push leg day and pull day. And I do the same thing Thursday through Saturday, and I just change up the different exercises. I'm not a slave to just doing certain exercises. I definitely try to, get a variety of what I'm doing. I still stick with the basic, the basic 3 lifts: deadlift, squats, and bench press. I mean, those are the standards in my routine, and everything else is, secondary, and really trying to activate the auxiliary muscles, just so that I can have a well-rounded body. So that's basically what's going on with my training. I typically just spend about an hour and a half in the gym, just depending on what I'm training for that particular day. And so my nutrition right now, I'm at 500 gram carb, 75 gram fat, 200 gram protons, about 40 to 45 grams of fiber. So I track all of that. And since I've kind of hit maintenance with my weight, since coming out of my contest prep, finally figured out where my happy weight is. It's around this 164, 165 range, and I'm basically eating about 3,500 calories a day. And if I tend to dive under that, I tend to lose weight on that. So we're at the point where the crossroads hit, where I need to start bumping up my calories. Do I do it daily, or do I add a refeed day every 7 to 10 days, where I go Greek god status on my macros? I might do a combination of the two, just see how my body responds, but I'm at the point where I'm eating so much food every day, and it's a weird feeling to be full throughout your day, and I'm pretty much forcing myself to eat consistently so that I can make some proper gains. And you're probably thinking, wow, you got a lot of problems, you have to eat a lot. But I tend to It's a weird feeling coming from being somewhat satisfied to feeling hunger, and then now in the off season feeling full. So it's definitely a transition. It's not the easiest for a lot of people to come through such a restriction on their calories. They're trying to get contest prep ready, and coming off of that, definitely I had my ups and my downs trying to really make sure that I didn't just go off the deep end and just start eating whatever was in sight, because your leptin is really low. I mean, you're really hungry. You're never feeling really satisfied at the end of a contest prep. I don't care who you are. I contest prep for 30 weeks and across about 7 months, and I was at the point where I was hungry all the time, and so I basically was eating just enough to make it to my next meal. And so now coming off of that has been quite the experience, and I finally feel like, wow, I'm back to normal emotionally, physically, and now it's time to make some proper gains, even try to make sure that I'm having a well-balanced life. And you tend to lose a lot of focus with other areas of health while you're contest prepping, and my wife has been super supportive, and my family, but most especially my wife. I mean, she's really been encouraging, throughout this process. She knows how hard it has been to prep for this long. That really wasn't the game plan, but she was there side by side, making sure that I was, mentally there, and so I definitely appreciate the fact that I have somebody that's always there, making sure that I'm on point, motivating me. So that's the thing is, for me, as I compete every year, there's no way that I could be doing this without the support of my wife, without the support of my family, the support of my friends, because it's a lifestyle, and if those pieces aren't there, I can't sustain it. So that's my reality as far as where my training's at, where my macros are. I'm planning to do some videos on my food. I already did a couple videos on where I go grocery shopping, my approach towards nutrition. My perspective has changed throughout the technically the 3.5 years I've been competing in the NANBF organization. I used to be really into the bro foods, and don't get me wrong, I love my standard 8 to 10 foods, but I can go more into that in another video as far as my nutrition, where I'm at with the exact perspective I have, where it's come from, and how it's developed over the course of these 3.5 years, because in reality it's about sustainability, lifestyle, balance, and I finally feel like I've made some great headway into how I can sustain this and still feel like a human being. I grew up in Hawaii. All of my life, food is in the culture, and whenever I'm contest prepping, my mom is always always kind of sad that I'm not able to eat a lot of their food, just because I just don't have enough fat in my macros to hit that. But so that's where it becomes a little bit of a struggle. But my perspective, the way that I approach things now, I'm able to still have that balance with my life, with my family, my culture of eating, but within reason, and they understand now the way that I approach it, being a little bit more flexible. So I'll do like an entire video, maybe a series of how I approach nutrition, where I've come from and where I plan to continue on, and how it's changed, and even my training, how it's changed throughout the process, because your body is ever changing. I feel like I'm in a human experiment, and that's what really keeps me engaged in competing in bodybuilding, is because it's always changing. It's never the same. My body responds differently each time I go into an off season and contest prep. So I'll go through that with you folks in a series of videos. But I plan to do some cooking. I plan to do some more grocery shopping videos and updates around what I'm doing, my training, videotaping some of that. But I do appreciate the fact that people are watching, supporting me in this journey that I call the so-called life of bodybuilding, and trying to find that balance. And I definitely respect a lot of people within this sport, this lifestyle. I look up to a lot of people that have been competing. My background is health. I have a passion for health, and this is what I do, on a day-to-day basis, is try to coach, try to help people, not just with weight loss or body fat loss, but really about lifestyle. And not everybody has to be a bodybuilder to have a be successful in health. But hopefully this is helpful for other people as far as I plan to keep it real as far as the way that I approach my videos, my logs, and my training. I'm not trying to pretend to be somebody else, a facade of what your typical stereotypical bodybuilder is. So if you have questions, if you have suggestions on future videos, please by any means put it in the comments below, and I will respond as quickly as possible, and even probably respond in future videos. But I definitely appreciate it. Thanks for checking in, and stay tuned for more updates. Bye-bye.